I'm Michelle Ryder, editor of Print IT Reseller. In this video series with Epson, we explore how resellers are utilising decades of industry expertise to optimise the new balanced deployment of print. We look at some of the key challenges facing both dealers and vendors, including the increasing accountability businesses are taking for the environment. Joining me today, Richard Taylor, Managing Director of XBM. Welcome, Richard. There's been an enormous shift in printing habits over the past few years, and the move to hybrid working, I think, will continue to drive people's printing habits. In your experience, has that changed, or is it changing how you deploy and propose MPS engagements?
Yeah, I mean, obviously since COVID happened, everybody went home and lots of people thought they weren't going to come back to an office environment. For XBM, it was slightly different due to the fact that a lot of our customers were smaller. And whilst as a business, we turn over roughly £7 million, we have a lot of little accounts.
Yeah.
So those little accounts had to go to work because that was their main source of income. So the work from home culture didn't really affect the XBM family of customers, I suppose. But to say that we've seen the print volumes now go back to where they were pre-COVID and still growing. So for me, that hasn't really affected XBM in the way that it would have affected others.
So you mentioned earlier that most of your customers are smaller owner-managed businesses, and we've talked a lot at Epson about balanced deployment. Does that still impact your client base in terms of ensuring a balanced deployment of devices within your customer bases?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we have a lot of little customers. When I say little customers, I mean around about, owner-operators that have one device in an office, and that could be up to sort of 10. The bigger sort of rollouts of 25, 30, we do have them, but they're not as much as what the little customers are. So for us moving forward, we have a goal of turning this business from a £7 million reseller to 30 million over the next 8 years. Now, to do that, you can't do it by pedaling faster. You have to have bigger customers, more machines in the field, higher profit, opportunities to make more profit. So having the ability to go into a customer that historically would have bought 100 A3 devices due to the fact that they have the volume requirements, being able to now talk to them about the fact that we can actually save you a little bit of money by deploying 50 A3s and 50 A4s because the A4s can handle the same capacity as what an A3 can, I think that's massive and will add benefit to what we're going to do as a business to help us grow. Not only that, you've got the Epson messaging, the sustainability, which is the product that we lead with as well. So I think balanced deployment on its own, I don't think would be a massive thing for us, but balanced deployment with Epson, that would.
So I think another key industry trend is that selling, for print channel vendors, selling has transformed into consulting, and customers are looking to their print provider as a trusted partner to enable them to deliver digital-first workflows and solve their pain points, their problems within an issue. Is that your experience?
Absolutely. I mean, historically, salespeople would go out and talk about sheets, feeds, how fast the machine is, how low they can take the click, what's your lease price, what's your settlement price, what's your maintenance settlement. That isn't consultative selling. That's just basically going out, asking a series of questions, then undercutting it. That isn't adding any benefit to the customer whatsoever. Our sales force now, we've managed to educate, along with the help of Epson, to be able to teach them how to sell without talking about a photocopier. So my salespeople are now going out into the field and selling based on sustainability, based on saving electricity, based on carbon offset. These things are massive. It's a massive buzzword, is sustainability. Everybody has sustainability credentials as businesses, and we talk about XBM going for bigger accounts. Sustainability is even more key within those bigger accounts because they have to be seen to be doing something. So consultative selling is the future of this industry, and believe it or not, not talking about a photocopier is key to that. Talking about all these other things, these added benefits that we can add to them that they didn't even realize that we could. They thought that we were just their print provider. We're not. We're also their sustainability officer. We can reduce their costs, staff costs, everything with a photocopier, but by not talking about a photocopier.
And then another big trend that we've seen is cloud adoption has increased at pace, and cloud print management particularly. People are more open to and actually looking to achieve the efficiencies of migrating print to the cloud. Is cloud now part of your overall offering? Is it what customers are asking for, or indeed are you the ones that are proposing that cloud can enable them to do more with less?
Yeah, I think as any IT provider, we have to adopt cloud because it is the future. You know, years ago it was all on-prem, nothing was in the cloud. Now it's all in the cloud. So for us to ignore that would be naive. But at the same time, talking about our customer base, as we have done before, there are a lot of little customers. But that doesn't mean that they can't utilize cloud for security purposes. As a business, we don't just sell photocopiers, so we also do archive backscanning, for example. So our salespeople are going into an office and looking around them. So they're looking for anything to do with audio visual. They're looking for anything to do with a photocopier. They're just trying to find filing cabinets. And when they find these, they give the customer the opportunity to take all that information, turn it into a digital image and store it in the cloud. You know, so basically freeing up the office space so that instead of having 100 filing cabinets, they could have 25 sales desks. What will those 25 sales desks generate you in profit? And that offsets the cost of having to do a digital transformation, if that makes sense. So yes, we fully adopt the cloud services. We sell them with our photocopiers, but we also sell them in other areas of our business as well. And even better, they all can interlink.
Thank you, Richard. It's really been insightful. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think perhaps we've not covered? Yeah,
no, I think as a business, XBM started 15 years ago. And when we started, we weren't in bed with a manufacturer. So the growth of the business, we've gone through working alongside Sharp, Ricoh, and then found Epson. And since then, what we've done with Epson has been unbelievable. The support that we've had from Epson has been fantastic, first of all. But them giving us this product that allows us to sell in a different way is key. And we touched on balanced deployment earlier on. And I made a comment saying that balanced deployment is not a new thing. It's been around for years. But utilizing it alongside Epson, it is a thing. And the reason that that's a thing is because of sustainability reports. So we can now go into a business and we can talk to them, again, not necessarily about the photocopier, but we're talking to them about their volume of print. We're talking to them about how many machines they have, how many devices they have, how many times do they change toner, how long does that take? And that person that's doing that, how much does it cost their hourly wage? Now we then pump all that into a sustainability calculator. It takes literally 5 minutes and it spits out a certified report that even goes to the extremity of giving you a certificate at the end that you can pop above your photocopiers to be able to show you how much energy you saved, how much CO2 you've offset. But this all adds to the benefit of balanced deployment because not only can you show them from a sustainability point of view, but we can also show it hopefully in the price overall because the price of the A4 unit will be lower than what a fully fledged A3 one would be, but it has the exact same capability.
Thank you for joining me, Richard, and you've made some really interesting points there.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.